Hello, it's me, and I'm actually back a little earlier because I have what I would call an emergency viewer question, which I thought was particularly intriguing. So this one comes from Rama Vinukanda, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, and he has an example of a cane cube, and what he has here, his message is, I am not able to solve the last two edges of the 4x4 cane cube as shown in the attached picture. If time permits, can you help overcome this problem? Thanking you. Well, no problem. Time does actually permit, luckily. So anyway, here's the picture of what his dilemma is. And you can see I tried to recreate it as best I can. Actually, it does recreate it quite well. Now, his cane cube is actually a rhombic dodecahedron. This is not the face-turning version. This is just the 4x4 modification. A fun puzzle. But it's stickered like a cane cube. So this is the cane cube, this is a rhombic dodecahedron, and the difference is that his particular rhombic dodecahedron has solid colors for all the centers as opposed to two colors. So it's stickered exactly like a cane cube. And the thing about a cane cube is that it's almost stickered like a 2x2. So this is sort of put in as a 2x2 and can be moved as such. So it really doesn't even matter what happens at the bottom because there's no specific solved configuration for this. But the only thing that seems to matter is this top part. So as you can see, what I did is I got the centers the way that he has it, and what he really has is this orange one needs to go here, and this blue one needs to go here, and this green one needs to go here. So in essence, it looks pretty much just like a 3-cycle. So how do we do this? Well, by the way, I really enjoy getting it in the configurations of the pictures. That's why I like it when you send pictures, because it's kind of a challenge for me to get it in that configuration. Well, to really understand how to get out of this and where this happened is to kind of understand what the algorithms that we use 4x4, what the algorithms actually do, the ones that we use on a 4x4. What is it that we're trying to achieve? So we've all had a situation where if we have a 4x4 here, we want to do a swap of two sides, two edges rather. So in other words, we don't have a third one that we can use, and there's an algorithm to swap that, and what it appears to do is it appears to swap these two, or these two. So that algorithm is going to be, we slice it in the middle here, U, over here. So then we do R, Fi, U, Ri, F, and we slice it back. Now what it looks like is this is the same, right? And this is the same, but this blue and white went down here, and this green and white went over here. Now we know that the way this algorithm worked, that's an impossibility. You couldn't just swap these two. So something else actually happened when this occurred. But in any case, if you find yourself in a situation on a 4x4 where you've reduced all your edges, but you're down to the last two, and you see that they're complements of each other, then you just put two that are the same color across from each other, these two across from each other. You do that algorithm, and it seems to do that swap. But bear something in mind. What's actually happening, this blue and white, this actually went to here, this went to here, and this went to here. Okay, so this goes to here, this goes to here, and this goes to here. But you might say, well, that's not what happened. These two just seem to swap, and this stayed exactly the same. But something else happens. This does go to here, this does go to here, and this does go to here. But then what happens is this actually swaps. And when this swaps, another piece up here swapped. How do I know that's true? Well, as you can see, well, I can actually prove that. You can see that 3 are up. So in other words, this went to here, this went to here, this went to here, and this swapped, so something on the top also swapped. To prove that, let's kind of reconstitute our side over here. Okay, so basically I got this back, and I put these back in the same configuration. Now notice something on the top here. We actually have a rotational parity here. You're not supposed to have one that's in and 3 that are out, nor are you supposed to have 3 that are in and 1 that's out. So if I were to try to solve this, I go like F, R, U, R, I, U, I, F, I, and you can see the parity with this. So which means that the algorithm that I did flipped one of these, and if it flipped one of these, then this also got flipped. So to do this algorithm, if I wanted to do some 3-cycling here, this will go to here, this will go to here, and this will come up here where it needs to be, but this is going to flip. And then one of these are going to flip. To prove that, let's go ahead and do that again. So you're in this situation. I'm going to move this to here, do R, FIU, RIF, plop it back. Okay, you can see that these seem to be back. Now let's see if we can quickly reconstitute this side over here. Okay, with these two sides in, you can see that the parity is now taken out. So FUR, UI, RI, puts all these back in. RU, RIU, R2U, RI. Puts much of these back in. Do a corner swap. Not going through the whole tutorial with this. I think you guys know how to do this quite well. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so that's my point. My point is that when I do that algorithm, I am going to end up flipping this. So if I translate that to this, what I really want to do is I want to do an algorithm where all of my flipping, all of my 3 cycling has to be between these edges over here. But I got to be careful because when I do that, I'm going to find that another one of these edges are going to be flipped. So you're always going to find yourself in a situation where when you do it, you're going to have an edge flipped. Okay, so the key with this is to do that 3 cycle. So looking at what we have, we like where this is. We don't like these, and if we're just to look at it from the standpoint of edge reduction, what we want to do is we know that this is correct. We like this edge over here. We like this edge over here. This one doesn't really make sense, so we need to do a swap with these two. So what I'm going to do is to do that, I have to move this opposite this edge over here, and it doesn't really matter how I do it as long as I create the pieces that I need. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do an edge swap. I'm going to do an edge swap over here just to get these opposite each other. I could just move it in like this, but it might make it a little difficult in terms of reassembling. So I'm going to try to isolate this top portion as much as I can. So an adjacent edge swap is going to be 2R, U, 2R, U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R. Okay, now bear in mind, my goal is to create the edges that I need. So I'm going to have to create the edges out of these two. Now because doing that adjacent edge swap, it did 2 things actually. It rotated this by 180 degrees, so don't let the center put you off. It also swapped these two. If that kind of freaks you out, what you can do is we can do a swap of these two. So I'm going to swap these two just to get this back. And that's going to be an opposite edge swap. 2R, 2U, oops, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. Okay, so that did get this back, that got this back over here. And what I want to do is I want to do the swapping of these edges over here. And what's going to happen is this will go here, this will go here, and this will go here. So in that way, I'm going to create my blue and orange. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. So, so this is going to be in front of us now. So we're going to move this over to here, split this over here, and do R, FI, U, RI, F, and split it right on back. Boom. Okay, now let's go ahead and recreate what's down here. This is okay. The center is okay, but this got a little bit messed up here. This belongs down here, so I can just move that back down. If I wanted to minimize the damage with this edge over here, well, okay, I'll just move this, boom, down over here. Okay, so I'm kind of doing a constitution of the puzzle. This is the bottom portion. Let's get this edge back in. Now I should be able to coordinate it with these guys here. So this is going to come down to here. Let's move this out of the way. Bring this up, move this in, move this down. So now this is back in. Doesn't really matter if you have that in. Just go ahead and redo the puzzle, so to speak. So I know that I'm looking for the orange and purple. That one happens to be over here. So I'm going to go like this, turn this in here, and turn this in here. So this naturally comes back over here. Okay, let's try the red. And this isn't quite going to correlate with that the way that we want, unless we do something like this. turn this up like so, bring this in, and move this down. Okay, that worked. All right, so that reconstituted the bottom portion of this over here. Now let's take a look at what we have here. First off, are all these rotated correctly? I may have created parity by doing some of that swapping, because by doing that, I might have swapped something. But let's see, so this is rotated correctly over here. This is not rotated correctly, so this is upside down. You can see if I bring this over here, this orange is going to be here. This is obviously upside down as well. So upside down, upside down. This is also upside down, so we do have the parity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this over here with the right one to my left, and let's just do our F, R, U, R, I, U, I, F, I. The reason that I did that is I want to isolate the one that's upside down. So how about this? This is right side up. This green will end up over here. This blue and green will end up over here. That's right side up. This is right side up. And this, oh, are they all right side up? Oh no, this is upside down actually. So this is right side up because this will go over to here. The best way to show that is, I suppose we could put our edges in. So we'll just do a SUNY. R, R, U, R, I, U, R, 2U, R, I. Nothing's in yet. All right, U, R, 2U, R, I. Okay, this is rotated correctly. This is rotated correctly. This is also rotated correctly, but as you can see, this one isn't. So what we have to do is what we call that Red Bull algorithm. Red Bull algorithm to flip this. And the way that this is going to work is you're going to split it to the R. So I've done this a number of times, and there's no way of getting around it. It is a 4x4 parity, and that's 2R for the middle. Oh, lost track there. Yeah, okay, 1, 2. So 2R, 2R, 2B, 2U, L, 2 up, RI, 2 up, R, 2 up, 2F, R, 2F, then LI, 2B, and 2R. Okay, none of this should have been affected, but that should have rotated everything that I needed back. So I'm going to go ahead and just move forward with the solve. Okay, so we'll do a SUNY to try to get one of these in. R, U, R, I, U, R, 2U, R, I. Okay, so you can see these two are in, and these two need to be swapped. They're rotated correctly, but they need to be swapped. To swap them, you have to do that variation. If I try to do the URF algorithm, I'm going to end up rotating these sides here. So the way that this is going to work, to do a clean swap of these guys, we're going to do a middle UI, R, FI, then U, RI, F. Do a U from the middle, then a D from the middle, then reverse it, FI, R, UI, then F, RI, and swing the D back. Boom. And look at that. You now rotated this correctly. You can see these are all in fine. Now we're just going to do the corner algorithm, see which corner is in. None of them are. So we'll do the algorithm that rotates these around. U, R, UI, LI, U, RI, UI, L. We can see this one is in. Move it to the right. U, R, UI, LI, U, RI, UI, L, and lo and behold, we just have to move this back where it needs to be, and it's done. Okay, so basically what that was is that was a situation where you didn't completely reduce the puzzle yet. You had to finish the reduction of your edges, so my suggestion was to do that. There was not a clean 3 cycle that I would do, but on the last layer, on seeing that the edges weren't reduced, then that's really how you do it. You just reduce those last edges, go through that, and then solve for any parities. So that really was the problem with the puzzle, just the edges weren't completely reduced. Now, if that piqued your interest, I don't know if I have a tutorial on this. If you want to see a full tutorial on this kind of a puzzle, this cane cube, let me know. By the way, there's many different solve configurations. Any of these are perfectly fine because you're really just doing 2 by 2. But there you have it. Keep the questions coming, and thanks for watching.